Yeah, so I kind of started to rotate the hips a little bit, I think. Yeah, so the hips are rotating as that leg comes forward, the hips are rotating that way, and the chest should rotate, I guess, the other way. So we could try and do that. So that's a rotate X. So I can see there rotate X was 30 at the start, so when the right foot is forward, the hips are rotated 30 degrees forward, and then when the other foot, the left foot is forward, the hips are rotated minus 30, you know, so they're the opposite. And then they should go back to 30 again, so they did.
Denise, sorry, I didn't realise, I think I rigged it, like my model was facing the wrong way, like backwards, so the joints in the knees are working okay. It's just the arms are bending backwards.
Oh, you know what, it may be just, remember when I was saying to move the points, you know, from above to make it kind of a bit of a, look like an elbow bend? You know, the little guides?
Yeah.
So if you didn't do that, it's probably, it doesn't know which way your elbow is, if you know what I mean. So
Okay.
unless you indicated kind of the direction of the bend, it may have just put it the other way. That may be all that's wrong.
Am I able to adjust that, or will I need to do the rig again?
How far ahead are you? You'd have to...
I just have the rig and the weight painting done.
Oh, you have the weight painting done. I'm just trying to think what we could do to save it. If I open... rig. So see, when I look at above, see the way I just have a slight bend there?
Yeah.
So that's kind of it indicating the direction I wanted to bend. Is your swivel, is it the other side of it? Like if you look from above?
Yeah, it's the wrong side.
It's on the wrong side. Okay, let's see. I'm just trying to see, can we change that? Normally we can, it's just because it's in this auto rig that I'm just trying to see if we can... Or if I could, pinning visibility on, rotate, each rotation, there you go. Inherit. So that is X. I'm just trying to see if I can force mine to go the other way. can, but that doesn't really help.
I don't mind going through it again. I'm pretty familiar with it, so I might as well just.
So what you would have to do, just you go back as far as, so just open up your what's it called, your skeleton, your quick rig again, and just your step by step. Well, the first one there, the quick rig character. So your things should be still in there, if you know what I mean. So just go down to the very bottom and take off the skinning.
Okay.
And then once you take that off, take out the skeleton. And then you just have your guides, so your guides are still there, so just go to the top view and just pull them, that one back, back to the elbow, the back of the elbow.
Okay, so you bin the skinning and the skeleton?
Bin the skinning and the skeleton. Okay. And just when you do it on one side, make sure you do it on the other side too, mirror it over. So see the way that's kind of it's just giving it a bit of a indication that the elbow's back a bit there. Even if it's popping out, it doesn't matter.
Thanks, that should work then.
Yeah, and then you'll have to just create the skeleton again and skin again. And again, make sure your settings are set to the 3. So your max influences, change that to 3 again and bind. And hopefully it'll go the right way.
Denise, earlier I think you were talking about how the arm shouldn't be able to pull the body.
Yeah.
If it does, is there any way to fix that?
Yeah, it's a setting that's turned on. I just open this again. So once I have this on, if I select my wrist there, this is kind of the normal reaction, so I shouldn't, like if I pull it, it stops. This is the IK, the human IK rig that it automatically created. So hopefully you see the settings up here if these are highlighted.
Yeah.
So this is it off and this is it on. So with that on, it kind of activates it. So now it works.
Oh, yeah.
But if I click on the one beside that, that should turn that off.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
It can be good. I'd say it's good for game engines or game animation stuff too. It's not a way I would approach it, but yeah, it would have its uses if needed. It's actually pretty cool the way it works. But not something we want. I suppose if he was hanging off a helicopter or something, you wanted him to pull with it.
Denise, are my eyes and glasses disappear when I get rid of the skeleton generation?
Undo again, so undo back.
Okay.
If you can.
Yeah.
And your eyes and things are back again. So select, did I put them into a group, I think? The eyes.
I had them on the parent. Does that make a difference?
Yeah, so that's what we need to do is unparent them.
Okay.
So if I have, say, my teeth or my bow tie has been parented, I'm going to select my bow tie, shift select my head, and hopefully if I say shift P, nope, other way around, select the joint, then select the bow tie and shift P. Okay, doesn't like that either. Let's go in, I'm going to try and find it. Actually, is mine even parented? Oh, no, it's not. That might be why it was having a problem. So I'll just parent mine just to see, so we can. So that's my bow tie parented, and now it's going with it. So if I select my bow tie, then shift select the head joint that I parented to, and shift P. No, why is that not working? It's not liking that. messing with its rig. Select this, edit.
Did you say that's after working for me, what you said?
I did it? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, because I just found it here in kind of the whole rig thing. So what I would do then is middle mouse drag it and take it out of that. You know what I mean? So it's not. I've separated it again. But if that's working, good. So now if I, yeah. And yeah, again, don't worry about, you know, if the bow tie isn't on him when he's running. His eyes, he looks a bit funny without them, but the bow tie or the accessories aren't crucial. What I'm trying to look at here is, yeah. So as the hips are turning, the chest is turning the opposite, or should be. I might make it more extreme just so I can see it. 30.
Denise, I think I have to restart my computer because I might crash, so if I leave, take no notice of me.
Okay, grand, okay, that's fine. He should be going the other way, shouldn't he? That's wrong. Better.
Denise, you know the models we use for the emotions. Are we able to just delete them and it won't matter, or?
Yeah, yeah, you can either delete them or you can put them on a layer and hide them, whichever. But you can delete them, yes. Once they're in there, the blends are kind of attached, so you can still use them even though the models have been deleted. Now, I put mine on a layer there and just hid them, but you could delete them. Yeah, I decide like the head now is following the hip or the shoulder, so it's kind of rotating. Do I want to straighten that out as he's running? Maybe a little bit. So 1, 3. So even though his shoulders are rotating, his head is going to kind of stay forward. 9, 11. He's head's a bit wobbly now, but yeah, I was trying to kind of straighten it up so you can decide, which, anyway, that's just playing with the animation. Make that a front view, I can see it better. Trying to knock his feet off, have them a bit facing outward. This is the problem. Well, it's not a problem, but with the quick rig character, your graph editor has a lot more controls on it. Hips effector. And none of the curves will work. Yeah, it makes it harder to control. So if I'm finished, just to render out a play blast of them. If you have time, you can render out a nice Arnold rendering, but you don't have to. Just if you want it for your own portfolio or anything. So I'd clean it up a bit, you know what I mean, get rid of the grid and then show none and just show polygons should be enough. So kind of get them going. Something's going weird with his head, but anyway, say it was fixed. So to render it out, or to play blast it out, then I can choose to, if I click play blast up here, Windows, play blast, in the settings there, I just have a few more options in here. So I can say start time, end time, so if I just want to do the 24 frames because I want it to loop. Show ornaments, no. Render off screen, no. Format, AVI, IYUV codec is fine. Quality 100%. Display size, so if I wanted to use that from render settings, that's going to be, you know, more the widescreen. I'll just leave it at the 0.5 for now. Save to file. I'm just going to close out of that because I want to see, so this is what my render window would see, so I need to make sure he's there. So get a good angle on them. And then I go back up to my Play Blast. So I've kind of set it up. I'm just trying to make it more widescreen. You don't have to do this now. You can just render from window. Actually, I think I need to turn that off or it'll show up on it. Window, Play Blast. And I'm just going to name it 1. It should go into the movies folder of whatever project you're in, but you can click on browse to see where it's going. So I need to rename it again now because I changed that. Monster 1. No, I've done that already. Wednesday Run 1 and Play Blast. So it should open it out or open it to see. Yep. I don't know if that took my... I'm going to try that again. Okay, so from render settings, so now it's doing it, but it's holding that shape outside, which I don't want. So I'm going to do it again. I have it set up to fit into my render size, but I want to turn off my the little windows that show what the render is catching. So go back up here to Play Blast and yep. Play Blast. Okay. So that looks like the size. It's the widescreen that I was trying to get it. Now I would maybe stretch that floor so it looks a bit nicer, that it's not floating. And I think do it full size too. So take my ground off, scale it up, scale it over, so it's filling in the gaps. Go back to Windows, Play Blast, Settings, check it all again. But see at scale, bring that up to full scale because it's just a bit too small. Play Blast, and it's overwriting it again. Yeah, so that looks better. So when I have that done, did I go through the handbrake? I don't know if I did. Anyway, no, I'm going to have a look at that file and just see the size of it. And if I wanted to drop that into... So you're going to put it into a OneDrive folder. So this is part of your assignment 1. So if we have, where am I going? I'm just going to find it first. Sorry. So documents. I will clean up this folder by next week. Projects, CCH2, CCH2C, and it should have went in here. So movies. Yeah. So that's it there. So if I'm going to view details, okay. So I'm just looking at the details and seeing the size of that file. So it's quite large, and so is my expression file. So I'm going to open up my OneDrive then, which is where? just opening up, so my OneDrive, CCH2, so there's my one, Denise Moylan, assignment 1 submission, and inside of that, so I have now the turnaround, my final file, and I've already reduced these down, I think. So you see the size of my, well, maybe I haven't, hang on, I'm going to put that one in here first. Actually no, I should reduce it down first. So I'm going to take this AVI file and I want to bring it down a lot smaller, because what I'd like to be able to do is click, if I click on any of these files, they should maybe open in the browser. So right now if I clicked on this turnaround, it does, good. So if I click on it in my OneDrive and it says cannot, you know, play this file, it must be downloaded first, it's too big. So you need to use Handbrake to bring it down a size. So Handbrake is this little software. I'll put a link to it again. It's not a very big file, so you can just install it. So when I open it, it looks like this. So it says, you know, drop your file or open your file. So if I wanted to say open that run file that I just made, so open file, find where I put it, my projects, CCH2, and it should be in my movies, and it is this one, there's that one, so open. So this is it, open, this is Handbrake opening, so it basically takes your file and compresses it to play on, you know, you have lots of different options over here, but just leave it on, the default is fine. The only thing I would change is make it web optimized, that seems to bring it down a little bit, the file size. So if I click on web optimized, it converts it to an MP4, and I have to tell it where I want it to save. So if I click on browse, it should jump into where it is coming from. So I can call it the same thing. So I would say Denise monster. So there it is there. I'll just get rid of the AVI part of it and save. And then when I'm ready to go, I just click on the start encode. Now if it was a very large file, it takes a while, but because that's quite small, it finished in a few seconds. But now if I look back to where it was in my file, there it is there. Wednesday run, and there it is, the MP4. So you can see, look, that was it beforehand. It was, now it wasn't actually huge, it was 18,000 kilobytes, but it brought it down to 81. So it really brings it way down, and it doesn't, you know, the quality is still pretty good. So you get a nice tiny little file. So then this is the file you want to put onto your OneDrive. And that's the same with your turnaround. If you can encode or reduce them down to, or convert them to MP4s, I should say. So I'll go through that. So once you have it rendered out, you know, you just bring it through Handbrake. I'm just trying to find my, where'd it go again? I keep closing Teams. Where'd you go? So there's my folder. So now I would drop that MP4 in there, which was here. So now if I click on that, that plays very easily. If I right click up here, it'll loop anywhere. So that's playing through your browser, so it's nice and easy. Eddie will be getting on it too for animation too, using Handbrake. So just again, if I have a turnaround, do I have one in here? That one there. But I think I've already brought this one way down. I'll just see if I have it somewhere else. So see this one, that's a turnaround, but it's been... Oh no, maybe it hasn't. So that's what came out of Premiere. Yikes. I'm going to open that with so that came out of Premiere. Now again, it's not too big, but if it's very large and not playing, just bring it through Handbrake again and make it into a MP4. I have it open there. So open source file, find the file you want to convert. So that one was this one, Monster MPEG. Just turn on the web optimized, browse where you want it to go. I'll just call it turn. Save. And start encoding. So that one took a little bit longer. It was still very fast. Do you know, if that was a very large AVI out of something, it would be, it can take it a few minutes to turn. I'm trying to find where it is. Is that it there? Yeah. So see how small it made it. So it's good for your own work, even, if you're putting together show reels and stuff. You don't want them to be huge because you want them to play nicely if anyone opens them. So bring them way down. And the beauty is bringing it down without losing quality. You know what I mean? Reducing down the file size without losing quality. So that's mine in my OneDrive again, so if I click on that, see the way it should play quite nicely, even though it's quite a tiny file. And I can loop it. So to give me access to that, I think I went through it last week, but just to make sure. So there's my assignment, so this would be yours. Denise Moylan assigned one submission. Click on the 3 dots there, copy link, and then go to your notebook in Teams. So open up my Teams. So on the general channel, class notebook, open the notebook. So your name down there, wherever it is. You should have a page. I'll go to my one here just as an example. So I'm going to my content library, but you go to your own page. Well, even I'll just check. So say, who has one there? Maybe Cian has one. I'll just click on yours, Cian. 3D. Is there meant to be stuff in there? Nothing in there?
No,
Oh.
no, I don't have anything. There.
Okay. Say you've had, for instance, your weekly screen grabs and stuff, so you'd put that either in one page or in separate pages there if you want. And then you're adding another page, and this one's going to be called assignment 1. And this is the one, that has the final renders and stuff, so submission. And then I can Control V, enter, and that's giving me a link to that. You know what I mean? So your link would be in here. So if I just click on that, it'll link up to your drive.
Okay.
So that's where you'll submit.
What's our college email OneDrive? Is it that we're going to use? Or is it a OneDrive?
Yeah, it's your college email OneDrive, yeah. Yeah, be careful, it's fine for college work, I think, but just if you're sharing stuff with people, OneDrive isn't the best place, because, especially your OneDrive, your college OneDrive, because you have to be a member of the ETB, you know what I mean? So if you were trying to share this, say, with an employer or something, just be very careful, use Google Drive or something else. So send them a link, put your stuff on a Google Drive. Google Drive's more open, it'll let anyone click into it, where the OneDrive is kind of linked to the people in the CDETB, with your email. So just be warned, because I was going to have you do Google Drive. Anyway, I won't complicate things now, but just be careful, if you're trying to share with employers or anything. The OneDrive with your email is quite locked to people who are in the organization, so it can be a bit.
So the way we're taking screen grabs every now and then.
Yeah.
Are we going to be putting that in a document?
Yeah. So that should be in a document there somewhere. And let me just see. Someone might have it here. I'm just trying. Andrews, he's in the other class. Yeah. So he has it all here. Look. So every week he's been throwing in screen grabs.
And do we have to write anything with it, or
no? It doesn't need a whole lot of written work with it. What you do need, when you were rendering them with the textures or the paint, so if just different trial and errors, and why, say you had them with blue skin and green dots, and then you changed them to green skin with red dots or whatever, just something to show that you've kind of, I changed it because I thought this looked better or whatever. That's kind of one of the things it does ask for. Either that or lighting. You can even play with the lighting, so you made him look more sinister when I lowered the lights, or it could be just a lighting adjustment. So something to show that you've kind of did a trial and error with lighting and textures, basically.
Okay.
Now he's put it all into one page. I know other people have put it into separate. Let me try. Jerome's might have. No, he has it all in the one too. Someone had it. It doesn't really matter. Just it can be week 1, week 2, depending on how you've saved it. I think some of you've been doing this anyway. Anyway, that's all the one as well.
Denise?
Yeah.
I've run into another problem with the mesh.
Oh, okay.
This I don't know how you fix it, but I'll share. Shall I share it?
Yeah, give me 1 minute now. I'm just going to see. Okay, so I knew someone had it. There's Stephen has it. He has his broken into week 1, week 2, and then he'll have a submission in there too. Okay. But either way, you know what I mean? So I think some of you have it already. I know you don't. You have it, Wayne, I think.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, I'll stop sharing so you can show me what's going on. I'm going to